right, people, this is going to be part 2, and we're going to be working on the red Corvette and the red area. So I will wait for some people to come on. In the meantime, just clean up a few areas over here. Try to keep my arm out of the way. Watching other videos. It's a little hard in a small space, you know, but let me know if the volume's good, who's ever listening, and yeah, let's see if we can go out a little further, right, like that. That's better. Okay, so that should be good. I'll take this off here. Reference pictures, all over the place. Okay, so any area that I'm going to paint. Good evening, Vineyard Farmhouse. Hey, what is your first name? My name's Bill. I know it's on my Facebook page. It says William. Well, that's only because I lost my Facebook page to hacking, and they wouldn't let me open it up under Bill, so I had to go with William. But here and everywhere else, it's Bill or Billy. Only my wife really calls me Billy. Anyway, what is your name? I see your tag name there is the Vineyard Farmhouse. That's nice. Okay, so let's get this going here. Let's just get a little bit of. Okay, so I've got I got some red, and it's not opaques today, so it's kind of a nice thing here. We working with Brian. Hey, Brian, nice meeting you there. Okay, so a lot of times I'm making opaque mixtures, and I've gotten some new information that I've worked with transparents before, but I've gotten a little more schooling in it, and I'm looking forward to working a little faster. Oh, that's cool. An antique ride-along horse. Oh, wow. Yeah, the airbrush would come in handy. So, okay. Guys, we've got the Stingray. Okay, you can see the reflections in it. I'm not going to go on and on talking because I watch some of my videos and you learn. You learn. Like, okay, stop talking. Don't talk so much. All right, so let's get busy painting. I've got to just get the water out of, in between. I put water in. Good morning. Stuart from down under. How are you, Stuart? Nice to have you get on here and join us. Okay. This was a good day for me, but it was also a fumbly kind of day where you drop things all the time, where you're in a car and a guy behind you is beeping at you 40 times and you're trying to get home, and it's like one toot would have been enough, It wasn't on my cell phone or anything. I just got a little distracted. And so I ran into some just one of those days where you go like, all right, I want to go home and paint. And then when I get home and paint, I got stuck with the, at the last minute just now, I got stuck with the tip of the, yeah, right? The tip of the X-Acto knife, just a little puncture, but it started to bleed on my painting, and it was like a little tiny pinhole, but it was giving me trouble. So what I have now is I have this area here. This is Claybord, by the way. So I have this area here that I mixed. It's transparent. There's no, it's matched, but it's not going to be, and hey, Stephen Leahy. Steve, how are you? Thanks for popping on. So I purchased, you can see a video on my uploads. Drew Blair's, it's Painting Cherries by his wife, Sylvia. Because I've been wrestling with transparents. I've been wrestling with some really red the red in this. I was mixing opaque colors. And you know, if you put white and red to lighten it, you're going to get pink. And I know that stuff. You put orange in it and you help it. But long story short, that's great. That is great. This kit came perfectly. You know, I didn't do the painting yet of the cherries and the in-depth, beautiful work job that she did, layering, pulling out all the highlights and all the sunken details and layers of transparent paint over it. So let's see, that is right over here. The classroom in the box. Like I said, I did a video on it, but I will mention it here because at the same time I purchased, quite a while ago, back around 2019, oh no, it was 2021-ish. I purchased the Color Theory in a box, you know, where you get all this wonderful color theory wheels and all that kind of stuff. Okay, 5 different wheels. Looking at these things, you buy the Color Theory in a box, and you won't be disappointed. But I'll tell you what, today I got a nice email, and Drew, not an email, well, it was an advertisement email that Drew has taken. He updates. I don't think he can do it with any other video, but the Color Theory one, if he has new information, and he's already updated it once. I paid for it a long time ago, and I got an update on correcting mistakes, okay, with color shifts and all that. Today's perfect timing. I was working on this Corvette, mixing transparents, and no white at all is in here, and a video update. And he added 12 minutes of working with gradients and transparents, and so I was like psyched. It was like perfect timing. But anyway, this is the kit. I don't know if I can show you this as easily. These are probably going to all fall out. This is the classroom in a box that I got painting the cherries. They're nicely packaged, you know, that kind of a thing. And you get your couple of aggressive erasers. One's more so than the other, the green one. Again, you know, all those little, the dowel and the different things. So I have that kit, and I just want to show you the project I'm going to work on. I'm not doing this project online. This is private. If you want to do this project, you go to Drew Blair's website and purchase this classroom in a box. This is a reference picture from the painting. And if you look at it, okay, you can see all the depth and all the lovely details underneath the reds. And of course, you get stencils with it and stuff. So I highly recommend it. Sylvia, his wife, knocked this out of the park. Look at that. Look at that wonderful texture and great colors working with the red. That's why I got into buying this course. So you're forever learning. You know, I don't care who you are. If you don't think you're not going to learn the rest of your life, then you've arrived. I'm always in school, and maybe somebody else has arrived, but I haven't. So no, I won't be sharing this particular thing, but I will be getting better at what my knowledge will be getting better. And if you want to get really better quicker, get in touch with Drew, because it's over the top. And I'm so excited because this came and I watched the video. It's a 2-hour video, and you get stencils with it, you know, the whole 9 yards. I'm not going to pull all that out again. If you want to see that, just go to my video opening. It's called unboxing, you know, so that you get the Blair sheet of paper, and you do get wonderful Mylar stencils. I can show you a little bit in here. You know, that's just the top where the stems make a heart. So they are, you know, but you got the negatives, the positives, you got everything you need to make this painting work. And a laser cut Mylar stencils, precision cut with super details. So I can even use these stencils later for other things, because all the edges of these stencils can be doing all kinds of wonderful things. So what I've done towards the end of the day here, this is on Claybord. I cleaned up the overspray of the black. I put the blue tape. It kind of acts like the gold tape, you know. I couldn't get too close to the wheel well. So I just put this on here, lay it flat, and I just cut out a little cut, and then I took a Q-tip and cleaned on the Claybord the overspray that cannot be there for the red, because the red's transparent. And you can also take your, I redrew the letters because they were sloppy before. They're very accurate now. And that's another time, another segment of a video, painting the tire and all that. Today I'm going to do the body. Okay, we got a little sky in there, and the sky is going to reflect into the body of the car. So when you look at it, you can see the blues. Matter of fact, Steve, if you're still here, the Corvette you painted, I was studying it, the one where it's coming at you like this. Did a great job on the treads and the tires. It's a different angle, but my gosh, it helped me just staring at it. So a beautiful painting by Steve Leahy, and go to his Monday Night Lives and you won't be sorry. You know, like I said, my favorite thing is photorealism, and he's a photorealist in his own right, but he also paints, on microscopic stuff or he does the 543s, which are small black and whites, where he has to back off a little bit on where he could put it, where he could take it. But the thing is, you won't be sorry, learning from all these different artists that are online. Scott McKay, if you like the auto art, where you can do all that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to knock back the pencil lines. And I should have probably did this because the camera's going to shake. I should have done that before, but I'll start down by the bottom. When I work my way up, when I start getting into this area, sticking. Okay, so this area is separate too. So it's a stenciled area, but that red drops down in there, and then the darker red goes over it. The kit that I got from Drew, that Sylvia, the mixtures were incredible. Colors that went into the red that I didn't even think to do, and all transparent. So it's very exciting. I'm just in a really happy mood today with that, because everything kind of came at once, and yeah. So, and I mixed these colors very quickly. It's a faster way. That's what Drew's trying to do. He's trying to help people get to the colors quicker. Okay, because otherwise it's very, very time consuming in the beginning for beginners, and even for anybody. I take long on certain colors, but I've really come a long way with getting them accurate so much sooner. All right, I need an eraser for that line, a better eraser. So hold on 1 second. I finally got my metal backing for my desk. I do want to find where I can get the metal cut. You're welcome, Steve. Your work is fantastic, and your teaching is just as great. And so I say learn from all kinds of people, but find your favorite. If you're into t-shirts, find somebody that's doing t-shirts. Kent Lind, okay, he's phenomenal. He's now not in season with the time of the year of his t-shirt booth, so maybe he'll do some more little online stuff. But anyway, okay, so I've got this eraser here. Let me just put it on the back of a pencil. I'm going to just knock this line. Like I said, I should have did this before. So knock it back. I'm sorry about the shaking on the thing. And that edge needs to be knocked back too. This is Claybord. It's about 3/16 thick. And yeah, the sky isn't even down here. So sorry about the shaking. Let me just get rid of that real quick. Wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, oh, I'm ready. I'm sitting there. I ate dinner. And then I was like, oh, whoa, the erasing. Cleanup on aisle 4. But watch how fast it goes now. I mean, it's going to go real fast. So hang in there. So sometimes when I look at the YouTube, the analyzing stuff to do with everything to do with YouTube Studio and all, man, people don't necessarily watch a video, like a 2-hour video. They might not watch much of it. They might watch 5 minutes and maybe hit fast forward and whatever their time schedule allows, or maybe they just are like tired of hearing my voice. all fun aside, right? Whatever reason, some people just speed through them. Other people share them to their page and they can look at them in bits and pieces. That's a good way to do it. One guy gave me a nice compliment the other day. He said, your page is packed with, my YouTube channel is packed with all kinds of stuff that he was just really, a wonderful compliment, let's put it that way. And yeah, so it's nice to get feedback. If you like this video, don't forget to like it. And if you didn't subscribe, subscribe. I try to do Tuesday night lives. That's my time. Steve Leahy is Monday night at 6, I think. Monday night, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. Is it 6, Steve, or is it? Yeah, 6 o'clock. 5's too early, right? You got to eat dinner. Okay, so what do I got here? Any kind of cutouts? All right, I have this one. It looks like it got wet, right there. But this part didn't. So I could always take a straight edge and just use that there. Okay, so I'm going to work on, oh yeah, I forgot I opened these areas. So let's just dust a little color in. So I've got my metal, because of the Drew Blair thing, oh, that's not a nice cut. What am I thinking? All right, I'm just going to get a shield, like a curve. I got my metal desk. It's not for this project. This is Claybord. But I have a metal backing now, and I have my magnets, and that's how, I'm going to be doing my synthetic paper and light duty paper with magnetics now. So let's find out what's a good thing here. I didn't know I cut that so funky. But we got to go here. I'm going to try to find that. Nope, I don't like that. All right. Yeah, I could do sections. Let's see. I need this picture. Okay. What do you think I'm going to do? Because I don't feel like cutting the stencil out now. So I'm going to just take this blue tape by Deltec, and I'm going to just put it up here, get a nice sharp blade, and I'm going to make that curve. I lost my line there. Now I could use it darker, right? Let me see. Let me see what I could salvage from that. And just stay away from that one area. Got a flat spot in it. Okay, so we'll go like this. We'll bend down these. We'll put this up here. Maybe it's curved funny because of the windshield. So maybe it's not a bad cut. It might not be. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's just use part of this right here. Here, and make sure I'm rocking it onto the line. There's the line there. And there's the line there. Yeah, I'll just stay away from that one little flat spot. Okay. So, like I said, I'll be using magnets from now on, so that will really help. I moved it anyway. So you got to line it up really good. You can't be off at all. And you got to get rid of your lines. That looks good. I could probably put that tape right there over that opening just to hold it for a minute. 6 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. Okay. So that's Steve's time on Monday, and he has Instagram, and he has YouTube and other things other times. He'll tell you all that if you check him out. If you don't check him out, it's your loss, because he is teaching up a storm. Okay, guys. So let's get in here. I'm going to just kind of come over the top of the phone, get my fingers on there. I'm just going to dust in a little color. I do need the reference, which I got to pull out here. And I'm focusing on this first edge. Okay. Now, if I don't have enough volume on the paint, then I'll be in trouble, right? Because I will have, I gotta make sure my line's good. Yeah, a little hiccup there. Okay, so I'll stay away from that because I can knock that back. It's transparent. There's a little flat spot there. And what do we got here? We've got lots of open area down in here. And okay, so let's do this. Let's put this, I'm just going to use this later. See the flat spot right there? So you can knock that back into shape. Clean the eraser on copy paper. Just kill that area right there. That's good. Maybe a little more, maybe an aggressive eraser. Just take it away. So I'm just going to stay away from that area for a minute. It also makes my line darker, so if I do want to use a curve that's Mylar, I can do that. Get in there. I got a stencil stuck to the back of the picture. Okay, Mylar stencils, all different sizes. There we go, look at that. But that's going outside, so coming back in. I watched one guy, he used a stencil on his channel. I think it's the Art Workshop. His name's Mark. Another great channel, loaded. He does voiceover. He talks over his videos after they're already uploaded or before he uploads them. So, okay, this is going to be kind of blue in here. So we're going to just work on this area in here, right here. I'm going to get a little piece of paper just to keep the outer white part white. And I'm going to just kind of stay off that edge from a distance. I'm going to bring it to here, and then it's going to have blue in it, the sky color, but it's got red, so it kind of looks violety. It's kind of really an interesting gradation or a fade. Okay, so let's zoom in a little more. Nope. Zoom in here. Nope, going the wrong way, sorry. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to focus on looking at this and not, there's some lines right there. I can kind of sketch that in. I have to take this to a certain level of red before it's just dusting it in now, before it goes to the truer color. So let's just do the truer color right here. Just for a minute. Aim down. You can see it's starting to get there. Now, I could overshoot. The difference with this is I don't have any white in it, and I could overshoot. I could end up getting a terrible, too dark, you know, that kind of a thing. And I don't want that. Okay, so we've got this. So let's do a little bit of over the top. No, I'll come in from the side. I'll come in from this side. I'm trying to think of my drawer over here. I'm trying to think of how you can see it better. When I watched my videos, I was like in my own way. I was like, move your arm, move your arm. It's like it's my arm, and you guys are seeing the same thing. It's like, not cool. All right. Again, I'm going to just dust this for a minute. That's too small. So take the bigger one, and we find a little more traveling room for that curve. Not so curvy, right about there. And I'm just going to dust it in a little bit, just to start it. I'm kind of sculpting it. And then we're going to kind of hit this area a little, like that. This area is going to be, actually, this area is going to be this. So let me do that again. Starting it. Now, the beauty of this whole thing is, if you do overshoot it, you slip with your, your stencil or whatever, just bring it about and clean it up, and you're back in business. Okay, so that's going to go all the way over to there. I'm just establishing some of this red right now. All right, I'm going to come back over. That is lighter down there, so this color in here, I didn't bother trying to make the color. it can be added. But I have 2 reds to work with right now, and they should carry me pretty far. So the reason why I guess I didn't bother making all those colors was I just was so happy that it was making anything with the transparent being very accurate. I need Steve here with his excellent cutting skills of his cutting skills with the X-Acto knife are just unreal. Just unreal. So that looks nice. You got that. It would be nice to show you it a little more. So let's see, what do I got to do? Bring it this way. There we go. Okay. So it's going to be back in there. We'll just get to that in a minute. I've got to look for the color. For example, on this reference picture, look at how it goes out of focus the minute your hand goes in front of it. Let me just take a pencil and point. Okay, what is this? Oh, this is a pastel pencil from Tim. There's another great channel, Timothy John Luke Smith, and his black and whites right through to colors to oils. He does everything. So another great teacher. But anyway, this color here, the darker red, is going to have some of this red under it. So you got to kind of look at your reference picture. But this color is this color basically. But see, it's real dark here. Well, this starts getting lighter right here. Well, that would be backing off on the airbrush with control, spraying it. That color is there. That color shows up again over here. I don't think you can see it, so we'll bring it over this way. It shows up here, and it shows up, I think, on top of this color here. That might be this color, though. I have to just check it when I go. All right. There's even some red back in there in that black wheel well. It looks like it to me. It could be just an illusion, though. All right, so, yes. Oh, you know his channel there? Yeah, his channel is really professional. Man, oh man. Okay, so now that I can see this shape, I'm going to get this is so much nicer than Frisket, So I'm going to get my blue tape, purple tape, whatever you want to call it. But I am going to add a little bit of a line, a little guideline for me. I know I just erased, but I could always go a little above the line and just give myself maybe at least a dot right there, a dot, just something above the line, a smidge, so I can put the tape on and not bury that. So here's that purple tape. Now I can see the image through there. I can also come in, and now that I can draw and not worry about the picture, I'm going to draw right on the tape. By the way, this tape can go onto copy paper like this. Okay, you can put it on paper. You can cut out on the paper, and it won't rip the paper. I've never seen a tape like this before. It's great for see-throughness, for straight edge, whatever you want to do. It's a great tool to have. So I'm going to get my X-Acto. I'm just going to cut right here. And right there. I should have went further, right? I could have done the rest of that. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to utilize the whole piece. You can buy all size widths too at Blair School of Realism under store supplies. Okay, so I can see that now, and when I draw a shape like this, I might hold the painting like this and get my curve, the natural curve. That's how I did the wheels. Your hand will just kind of be pinned in a spot, and it'll just meet up with it. natural curve. Just kind of meet up, and here, this is going to go right to there, like I said. Meet up to the highlight area. I can even open that up if I want and spray it more with more authority. Let's see, it gets pretty close to the reflection, to the white area. So we'll see about that one. All right, X-Acto. Don't know if it's a new blade. I'm not going to take a chance. It probably is. It might be the one that stabbed me. Don't know. But you need to change the blade a lot. You'll know as it starts getting harder to, duller, the tip, we're talking about the micro tip of it, as it dulls out, you have to push harder, and that's where you don't realize it. And all of a sudden, you're pushing so hard, you're cutting into the surface of the material. So I'm going to just get on that line right there, and I'm going to just pull, look at it, turn it a little more, get back on the line, get back on the line, get right in the same spot. Maybe even breathe, breathe with it. Go under that line a smidge, that wouldn't hurt. Now I've got a nice piece to take out here, and I shouldn't have went under that line. I'm going to go on the line. Whoops, did I go up there? I got to get the right angle, guys. If I don't have the right angle, I'm not going to be able to pull it. There we go. And I still am working with one eye. I have a retina problem, so my vision is good. It's been repaired from surgery, but my right eye will never be like it was back in the day, because it's got a wrinkle in the retina. So it's a little hard for me to, line things up sometimes or whatever. There's that little extra cut there. Might as well just take that out. That's pretty good. It's got a little flat spot right there. That's where probably the retina thing, or no, that's when I tried to, I guess, switch positions, stop and start, try to get the whole cut in one. That's gone now. Good. Now, there's not a lot of, see the slightest little pancake. I can see it. Maybe you guys can't, but I see a little pancake right there, and I don't like it. So I'm going to continue the cut and just pull into that and pull it out. Slightest little thing like that looks ugly. Can ruin the whole painting. Okay, should be all right. So I go to, the drawing goes to here. That's where it changes. So let's go after that line one more time. You can erase it down to almost a ghost, and it will still, like I know where it was, I can still see a smidge of it, and that's what you want. You want to get rid of it. So I see a little piece I tore. Yeah, so don't pull on the stencil either, because you're going to tear it and it won't be good. And I got to be careful. I'm not using opaques, so scratching is different now, right? If I scratch the thing, trying to catch up with it, but it is going to be a lot darker here, so I should be able to fix that. There's the red I'm looking for. Noticed it wasn't showing up until I got the stencil on there and I could fire in more color. And I still have to control this because it will get too dark, right? Okay, so we're going to bring that up to that old ghost line, which basically is, I lost it, it's gone, I erased it, there it is. So I'm going to bring the red up in a dusting. Just a dusting. Okay. A little more there at the top. There. Okay, now we've got a nice little breakaway here, meaning there's a little ghost line right here. I'd rather have like a white line than that pencil line. That's just where you don't even have to, you can just do that kind of optically, just get that far away, melt it in, melt it in. Okay. I'm just kind of going after some areas that are not even. That's the problem with transparency, to get that problem going on. So it's just going to fade here a little bit. It's going to kind of like go like this. It's lighter here. Okay, and then we've got the dark down there, and we're going to have the red come back in on the wheel well. So let me see how my wheel well stencil was cut. Maybe I can use it. Okay. No. Nope, it's chopped up. Okay, that's all right. Might not be the one I want. Might be... No, that's for the... this one was for the wheel, and the inner. Okay, so... Another thing I could do, just the thought... I've done it before, but it's crossing my mind right now because... trying to figure out things as I go. So I could take another copy paper over here, nice brand new piece, and make a lot of copies when you do this. And I could put the tape on here. Okay, so I'll do what I'm thinking, and then you'll get it. I don't want to cut into the board, right? I have a cutting mat behind here. So, hey Roy, good evening. And Bobby, how are you? So you could take this tape, if it's see-through enough, and you could put it, because what I need is that right there. So I could put it on here, like that. Okay, that's just a black and white. Then, I think I have everything portable here, so let me just slide everything over. Okay, we'll expose the cutting mat, which is behind there. Now, it doesn't matter if I cut into, because I want to cut the stencil, right? But you could get one or the other. You could get the stencil, or you could get the tape, or you get both, actually. And just, there's something about sinking this X-Acto knife into the mat that keeps it from going off track. So now I have this piece right here. I just finish the cut right there. And I could take this piece right here without the paper. The paper's there too, but just because you can see through this, you can have a stencil this way too. I think I went to the right one, did I? Yeah. The outer part. Yeah. Let me just get the right angle here. So now there's no cut on the actual pivot here right at the end. There's no cut on the board. It's just a nice little bit of color. So let me get the gun. Like I said, the paper too, but the nice thing about the stencil, it is a hard edge, and the hard edge needs to be hard. It doesn't need to be like a floating edge or anything like that. So right by the wheel well, it's very light right here. I can actually just kind of protect that a little bit. It kind of goes like that. And it turns right there. I want to just kind of back away. And then this meets up with this piece, because this guy meets that. And then this meets this. Get in a little closer. Get the right color value, meaning how much I'm going to spray on there, trying to get over to that red, right? But I want to have a melt somewhere in here, just where the two meet, right in here. Now I'm going to get darker right here and turn sharp onto this piece. Now I got to just look at it, evaluate where I'm going with this. This is kind of broken up a little bit, so let's kind of just whisper a little bit of color right on there. Tie that together a little more. That's going to be another, it's going to be another color actually, another hue. So I'll just kind of play with this a little bit right here. And pretty dark right here. And then the darkness goes this way. Good. So it's a purpley kind of red, bluish purpley red. The red itself is like violety from what I could see, but it is going to go into a violety purple blue because the sky is reflecting into the metal. And the beauty of this whole thing is when you see the reflections and you just see, well, there's no paint there. It's no red color. Why? Well, it's the lighting. That's what's beautiful about painting metal. It's like you would think, well, where's the red paint? It should be right there. But it's washed out from the sun. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Okay. So I'm going to just make sure this could be a little darker maybe. Right here, I see a little bit more of an edge. So I'm going to just kind of put it in that way. And then I got to be careful from overshoot. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this thing where you got to be real careful with the transparent getting darker and darker. My opaque mixtures don't do that. They can only get as dark as you mix them because they have white in them. Okay, I don't want to get too close to that because that has other color blending into it. And what else we got here? We got this kind of fading out. I could probably do this. I see a pencil line that needs to go away. I'm still not by the red, so I'm going to just take that out. Again, do this before you start the project. I don't want no hard lines like I'm starting to get, so I'm going to kind of press on this eraser real light, and I don't want texture either, so I got to kind of just smooth it away a little bit. Now I'm going to just I'm going to use the same color for now. I'm going to just come in here and tie this together. And if I have to make that a little orangier red, I'll do that. But I want you to see the wheel well and the raise, that side, being what it is. Now this is just pulling away with the airbrush and trying to think of painting the body of a car, right? There we go. Okay, I think we've got something happening here, and we're going to come back down here. It's that red. I'm going to try a little freehand action here. Oh, it'd be nice to put it in the picture. I'm sorry, guys. I've done that before. I'm not worried about the pencil line there because we're talking about a very dark color. It's kind of hard to get the tip dry off with the Band-Aid there. Okay. I'm just going to, whoops, did that spit? Yep, it did. Okay, so because it's Claybord, even this synthetic paper, I've used it on. I'm going to get a little bit of Windex on here on a Q-tip. Yeah, I had that kind of mark from my finger bleed, and I was like, oh, great, what the heck is that? Blood, sweat, and tears. So I didn't put any liquid on there hardly at all, so I'm wasting my time on that one. Okay, so I'm just going to go like this. We can't see, Bill. Okay, Dan, I'm sorry. Let's see. I'll watch the monitor more when I'm spraying. Thank you. I'm sorry. You're talking about when the picture was over here, right? But how about when my hand's spraying? I hope you can see something, because I got to do that, you know. Okay, so I'm erasing that little area. I'm also going to dry it because it's chemical. You know, that's not good. All right, so this is a nice soft area. I'm just going to come out here. There's also, with Createx, there's a window of cross-linking of the actual curing of the paint. There's a window that's designed with Drew Blair in mind, and Createx, the company making the paint specifically for his paper, the synthetic paper. And at one point, I think I read on his website that the paint was actually going to be exclusively at his studio only. The you know, the illustration line that we're all using. Let me just get a bottle of it here. Okay, so, but then it was so successful, Createx made it available to everyone, and that's why Drew's design is on the bottle. He painted that design, and his name is mentioned on the bottle. I think, yeah, for use with Drew Blair's color buffer method. And that buffer method has to do with white buffers the color, causing you, when you use white, to have, if you spray 100%, you'll have, the color will never get any darker. And he designed it for that. Worked with, I think he was working with originally the Wicket line, because it was the detail Wicket, and then they sat down and got together and made it even more of what he wanted, which would switch over from the Wicket to obviously what we see today. So I got to just make sure, so I could take my lid off of the original red, which by the way, the cherry painting gave me help in understanding, because the whole cherry painting was transparent and I didn't even paint it yet. So I just want to see if it, yeah, there it is. See that, the swatch, watch the swatch under my thumb. Let me zoom in. It should disappear into the picture, just like my other colors do. In the darker area, this is darker down here. So this area that gets lighter, it will not disappear as much. You know, it will be more like this. That's the color right there. Just kind of disappears. And so that's what we got right now. Now, if I wanted to do texture and erasing and the things I'll be doing on, if I do an apple or the cherry or anything transparent, doesn't matter what color, this is where the cross-linking and the drying time is slowed down, so that you can even use on the synthetic paper a wooden dowel. This one's got the tip is broken off, but the wooden dowel could come in here and start pushing and putting texture in on objects that have it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's go over here and let's come off this cut right here. Can't see. There it is. my cut? There it is. Is that already cut? Nope. On this angle, it's nice to... Now I'm going to pick this off. There's tape on this thing, a little edge for giving it a border, but I won't damage any paint by picking it off on the tape. There we go. We got a nice little edge there, leaving that covered, and it's a hard edge here. So let's back out a little bit more. So the hard edge is right here. That's a nice little triangular archy kind of thing. Let's do this, and it's 100% of this color. That means it's transparent. So I still got to kind of stay in that area. And I did learn some new information today to control this better, and I didn't know that at the time. So as far as blotchiness and stuff, I just have to use my eye here real carefully and be careful because, yeah, it's new information to me, and that new information came late. That would be when I was watching the video in between. Okay, so this can get darker one more time. All right, that might even have some of the darker color on it. All right, let's back out. Let's see what we got. Let's get the white behind there again. Okay. All right, so now we've got something moving along. We've got this. I'm pretty sure that will work. So if I don't want to damage that black with the tip of the blade, there's nothing painted here. So I could just come underneath the tape. And this tape does tear kind of like if you're not careful. And you got that now coming off there. I don't really have that color mixed, so I'm not going to just spray that lighter color. That color is a color, excuse me, it's a color in and of itself. I'll save this piece because I don't have that color made. All right, so I just put it up over there. Okay, and now, yeah, I want to get some rare earth magnets. I got magnets from Michael's. I got magnets from Lowe's, and some of them are too big, but I got the metal desk, but the desk, I want it to be an 18 by 24, and it's actually about another 6 or 8 inches taller. So I need to either get another piece and take that one back, and then the whole desk will be metal on top of this, and just move it out of the way when I want the cutting mat. Or I've got to find a guy that will cut it for me, a guy that will shear it to the size I want. So what happened there? Did it go unlive on me? All right. So I'm going to just, yeah, there it's more upright. I'm going to take the darker color now, and it's that stenciled in area. Let's see how good my stencil was here. I don't know if I have any cut marks, and I guess I won't know. I'm going to leave that on. I sure wouldn't mind peeking to see if I got something going on here good. Yeah, we do. Nice line work. Little tiny there, but that little can come out with an X-Acto knife. So we're pretty good there. Yep. So I'm going to just push that, and then you get a better feel for the car, better feel for the correct color. You know, seeing it a little bit more for what it is instead of just purple tape around it. Okay. So now, and this is a little, probably a 1/4 inch border. So when the whole painting's done, it's got a nice white border for framing or whatever. Okay. Now we want the darker grill. It's not the grill. It looks like the Mustangs, right, with that big grill in front. But anyway, let's take that. In the meantime, talking about transparents and talking about opaques, let me just get a couple of paintings. Give me a second. Really? Okay. Son of a gun. I have paintings sitting on top of paintings, and a couple of them just slid over each other. So in a case like Opague's, this green is very safe to paint, because if you're going to spray it 100%, there's no blotch. The white's in there. It buffered it. There's other colors in the green, obviously, that make it that color. And then you've got, so this has got to get cut off right here. And there's the size of the picture. I guess I made it a little wider. I did. But yeah, so the reference picture, and I like to go back to what Drew has with the no shine. It's like paper, that there's no shine on that. And then this one, unfinished, ran into some mistakes. Again, the transparent theory versus the opaque, and then how to manipulate the two colors and use that, when to use it, and all. These are things I'm still learning. So this one didn't get finished yet, but you can see there's a difference there. Surprisingly, because when you're mixing it, you think, oh man, I'm pretty close, but this is darker. Mine's darker. So, having said that, these opaque paintings, especially back in here, you really can't go wrong. When you make the gray and you spray it 100%, if that's the gray you made, you're safe. If you make the red and you spray it awkwardly and you get blotchiness, you can't get rid of that so easily, because you're talking about, it's see-through. You know what I mean? It's a see-through paint. So let me see if I can just kind of whisper over that a little more right there. There we go. It's now it's like a judgment call that calls it to be what it needs to be. Visual. Okay, I can see over here. Okay, there. And I think squinting my eyes, that is that dark. So I'm going to hit this. I'll leave that. It's pretty dark, actually. It's hard to tell because the other colors are around it. Okay, so let's get this guy. Look at that. You've got reflections of a telephone pole, and the pole is bent. I think it's a pole. It looks like it's bent, and it looks like things on the horizon reflecting into the car. Pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to go with the darker color now. The darker color is right there. Usually when you see my mixtures like this, you would see these little swatches that I use. Well, there's no white in this one, so this is, if I keep spraying, it will get like blackish brown. So I've got to control the spraying. But I do see some of this red right in here, so I wouldn't mind putting it in right here. Have it underneath, waiting, because it will not show up if I don't do this, especially right out here. Spraying kind of far away. Now I could make a stencil of that, but I didn't. So I'm just going to just dust it in. Okay. I hate when these pop-ups come up on the cell phone. So this goes this way. I don't mind it fading back into it, but I got to get a little more red right here. Oops. All the other photos are blowing around. Everything's blowing around. Airbrushes blow things around. Look, this is taped. Just dust it in a little bit right here. That's not the color, right? But I can have a little bit of this color waiting right there and melt it right into that. There. Now I'm going to get the dark color. It's kind of fun to watch it form right in front of our eyes. If you have any paint left in your color, in your cup, and just kind of, if you can get it out. If not, you have to spray it out, unfortunately. I have the little cleaning station. You like to add white to the first coat, meaning in the paint, right, Stuart? and not spray the board white, because you'll invoke a color shift. So you put the white into the transparent color. I'm assuming you don't put a lot in, and then there you spray the first one, and then yeah, I love doing that with having a little base coat of an opaque paint, and then you could start playing with the lights and the darks, like the reflection of the green right here, the lighter green, and then the fade of the darker green into the lighter green. So you're capturing, you turn it upside down and you forget that it's a car, and you just paint what you see. You paint all what you see, not what you think or know. As Drew taught us, Charles Hawthorne. He, during the Impressionistic time period, he did not like that. And so he said, paint what you see, not what you know. I can see the scratches easy too, so. Okay, now the dark. The dark, I can just judge it by the photograph. It's pretty dark, so let's see how my stencil cutout is. I think that was, the bottom was still good. Top is not good. Got room of water, I guess. Give me a second here. All right, color wheels. The last thing you want to do is get paint on these beautiful. By the way, you can buy this color wheel without buying the Color Theory kit. So I'm pretty sure. You can buy a big one too, the big wheel. The kit comes also with the very large wheel, which is your middle color, your standard wheel, as opposed to what Drew's trying to teach here, and you'll see when you buy the course. He's trying to let you understand where the colors are really. In a darker wheel, look at the blue, that kind of stuff. Look at the traditional wheel, more pastel at the top, and then, so it's just to show you, like, the values, and that's, there's the big wheel you'll get. And it's accurate too. I mean, you're talking about, if you want this color, he'll teach you how to get that color. And you say, well, that color is this color. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a different darkness, or it might even have other colors in it with the color. Yeah, that's good. That's good, Stuart. That's what I kind of just learned today a little bit. I got to review it. And I mean, I've done things with the buffered colors where, you got to melt them, transition of edges, so you're not going to be 100%ing right to the edge, or you're going to get this shape in there, which is a very strong shape. All right, put the lid on I got to get some more of these. I'm getting out because my warehouse, the places are gone. The local, everybody's buying online now, and my local restaurant places are gone. 2 of them, supply houses for restaurants, gone, out of business. Okay, so what do we got here? We've got this right there. I'm looking at a line right under there, and I'm only going to go out so far because it starts to do a real nice shape. I probably should make a frisket for that, but whatever. Let's go with this for now. I know these can scratch. Anything can scratch it, right? All right, got the new color in there. Here we go. I'm going to spray it light, though. I'm not going to treat it like, get to pin these down, right? Spray it lighter out there, darker as you get to this end. And again, it's not my buffered color. Oops, I don't want that shape. I forgot about the bottom, right? Okay, so good thing it gets dark enough so that won't be a problem. Okay, so this is going to go right, that actually rolls right up there like that, but bottom. I'll just get right here for now. Right there. It's dark there, so I'm going to kind of put it in right in this area. And then stop because I don't know, how dark to go yet. And then this is definitely a stenciled edge. It kind of fogs out here a little, so I'll freehand it. Get in a little closer. It's an edge, but it's not a stenciled edge. Soft edge. I see the blotchiness of it right there. Do a little circular. It's pretty dark though, so we can safely get this going in here. I'm going to get far away with the airbrush, adding a little bit at a time. Okay, it's pretty dark like that. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I'll save this piece because it will go back on there. In between, it's going to be the other color I'm going to mix. While this is still soft, I'm going to turn that like this. Maybe I can get something under there. Sorry. Okay, good. That's my tape. That's just sitting under there. Keeping this on an angle. Okay, now I'm going to get my X-Acto knife, except I want a lower angle. Whoops. Maybe somewhere around there. It's subtle. I don't even see it from this angle too much. Having an eye for us being a sign painter, flat spots could bother a sign painter really bad. It's like pancakes and stuff. It flattens out and it's no good. It's a little better. It's phonetically not right. Because remember, the car is from the factory and it's perfect. Yeah, I see it there. I just scratched it by accident. Okay. Hold off there. And you can fix things with opaque paint. So if I want to mix this color and repair an area, I can make this color in opaque. Trying to remember the mixture minus the white, right? Because the same colors go in, but then the white is in there, of course, to lighten it and strengthen it and all that stuff. All right, so some of the overspray went down onto the tire. Let's just clean up that area. It may not be really on the wheel too much. Nope, that's the body of the car right there. Okay, that's the body of the car. There's going to be a nice highlight in here. And I don't think this eraser is the one to go with, not at this stage, because I know how Claybord behaves. Claybord, you're better off on the Claybord, from my experience, to let this cure and do it the next day. Then you could come in here and clean up an area that, I'll try to do a little bit right here. This is outside the shape, so it's okay to erase that. That's outside the shape. And in all honesty, it's going to be pretty black, the pavement, and the tire disappears into the darkness. Okay. So, there we go. Okay. Okay, I think my color is more, it's getting a little bit more, because I got darker here than I should have. It's getting a little bit more into a burgundy red. So so be it. You know, it's it's where it's going. I'm not used to this new style, so I probably should have backed off here a little bit more, but I'll just keep going, and who cares? It's still going to be a nice looking car. All right, so I wouldn't mind having some gray base down here, but I got to think about that right now. Okay, so let's see. Where's this color again? It's over here. It's really, yeah, it's over here. So let's do that with this. I don't really feel too much of an edge, slight edge. That means the cut went down onto it a little bit, just a little. None here. Here, I feel it a little bit. I might even get the original red and back off on the darker mixtures and fire up the red a little more. We'll see. This is an experiment for me. Okay. So, this is a wheel well, and there's going to be a nice right here. And it goes, I'll have to find out where that is once I look at it closer later. All right, so up in here, take this. I don't even know what the red looks like to you guys. You know, as far as matching the Corvette's red, I see a difference. I definitely see a difference, meaning a redder red on the photograph. So I probably sprayed two. I'll finish my sentence when I finish. Now I need a new blade. So I could feel it. I could feel that it's dull. We're talking about microscopic areas of the blade. Starts to get worn down for cutting, and then you gotta cut. Of course, it will cut paper. It will cut for a long time, but it won't allow me to, you know, do this. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get on that line. You almost have to just let the weight of the blade do it. Easier said than done. It's a very thin tape, though. I can tell you that much. This shape is very specific right in here. Oh boy, it goes right into a door. I'll just focus on the bottom one right here. I think that's it. Gotta look at it. Yeah, that's it. Draw it darker on the tape. You start to lose things. So where is it? It is right here. That's the door line. But the actual shape goes into here. Goes right down. And then it goes over to here. And it wraps under here. Curve your hand, go with the curve of your hand, like that. And it ends right here. I think this goes a little bit more rounder here, right here. off my line. Whoops, was it there? No, it's pretty thin. So I can keep that going right to about there. Okay, so that gets a little skinnier right in here. So maybe I could rotate this and make it bigger. Nope, it's even skinnier than that. All right. What's that line there? Oh, okay. All right. This is the dark, right? Yeah, I got to make sure. Yeah, it's the dark, but I'm going to spray it light. Keep some red in it. And then it gets real dark right here. I spray mostly on the edge of the stencil. And then it gets real dark right here. But I'll only take it to right there for now. Spraying on the stencil. Okay, so let's see what that did. Okay, I cut that out, right? Now I need this piece opened. Did I open it? Yeah, I did. Okay, so it's going to meet right there, go down there, and kind of just leave that hanging for a minute because it fades in here. Now, that's the other red. That's that red. Sometimes too, when I get away from it and I look at it later, I'll be like happier with it, or I'll go like, ooh, that's not right. So much easier to paint a sunset. What did I do to myself? Sunset, clouds, skies, that's more forgiving, right? Okay, I should have blown the airbrush out a little bit, but okay, so that's going to go blue there. So I'm not going to spray there. I'm going to spray here. I don't mind spraying over the black a little. Black wheel well. Just going to control the red just like that. And then here, I'm going to go up like into there and use the edge here and then just kind of fade. There's a wheel well there, so I got to kind of fade away from it and then bring it back this way more. So the wheel well probably could use, I don't know if the Tombow will work. I'm going to try it. Tombow eraser doesn't usually, it's soft. It's a soft eraser, but doesn't usually do too well with paints for me. It seems like it wants to be more of a, for graphite and stuff like that. But let's try it. Okay, it is working because we're so light. The spray is so light, it doesn't matter. Just go around there like that. Okay, that edgy thing, and then it kind of edges in here a little. And it might even pull away here. So I'll just use the tape and I'll erase down onto the surface and pull away. Use the airbrush like an eraser. Pull away a little bit. So we'll reveal this so you can kind of see what I'm saying. So the pulling away would be like press harder here and pull away so that you get that fade. And then if you don't have enough removed, I don't have enough removed, say at the top, I can go after the actual aggressive eraser and go after the top a little bit more, like right in here with pressure. There. And then this pencil line can go away too. That's kind of getting weird. I guess you could use this one and fade away too. It's going to remove more paint. I don't like that pencil line there, so I'll just take it out. It's all washed out because the white of the car, the sunlight or whatever is hitting it. All right, I'm going to get back down in here. So this is going to have, right, you can go to the letter. It's above the letter. It starts right around there. And it's going to come down over and into this area a little bit more. That's going to be the darker color there. Sometimes you get lost trying to find things that get overspray on them. This is going to be dark, but I just want to see it again. Make sure shapes are looking good. Okay. Shine starts happening. All right. So normally you spray light to dark. I would have sprayed this area in with the mixture. Yeah, I could just cheat and take this same color and spray it lighter, but that's not really what is happening there. Meaning right here. It's kind of got a tomato soupy kind of red. Let's just take it off. I can always put it back on or make a new one, whatever. I could do paper stencils later. There's strong reflections that are going to be in here. They're not all red. I have no clue what's reflecting into that thing. It looks like there might be a building here. And it looks like, I'm going to guess, this looks like it's something to do with like a marina. And that looks like it could be a boat. You know, I'm just guessing. You guys look at it. I think it's a boat. Maybe even with lettering on it. So it might be marina. Okay. Where are we at now? Oh, that edge went away. But I see, I see my red got oversprayed up into the sky right here. It's going away. But I got to work on it a little bit more, probably with a little more pushing and shoving. I got some overspray in there. And that's an easy fix because it's a sky. So say I really got a line there. I would just come back with this protected, come up with the white, and then let the blue come back down over, and opaque colors cover everything. Little overspray over here. Two minor things that don't have to really be worked on right now. The wheel has to be cleaned up later for just a clean area to work on. So not having the shield there, overspray jumped a little bit. This edge is harder. A very hard edge there. And it's not so perfect actually. It's probably, no, I won't be able to see that. I'll maybe use Frisket or something on that. But if I use the Frisket, I'm going to take the glue off the Frisket a little bit by putting it on my skin because it could tear up that paint. And it's very sticky kind of stuff right now. So that's what we got so far. And back it out. That's what we got going on. And back it out even more so you can see more of the car. There. That's the arm sticking there. We don't want that. Okay. So we could do this too. And I could have got a smaller picture too to help you guys see something. Once all this dark goes in and these tires start getting done, it's gonna be cool because once this darkness covers, then you're removing the white, you're removing the white from the board, and everything starts to make more sense. But until you get that off there, you're not gonna see it for what it really is. Yeah, that's a building in there, and I don't even have that drawn in. It goes, wow, I didn't even see that. Wow, it goes from here. It goes up to the mirror reflection right here. So it's kind of like here. I'm going to draw it in darker now. And it goes to the wheel well. It goes on this angle, basically. That's like a roof. And there's a little lettering on the building. It probably is an S. I don't know what it says. Maybe it's a sign shop. It looks like SI. It looks like a sign shop. Magnifying will help me find out what that is. That's cool, though. Who knows? Maybe the guy's a sign painter and he's lettering a boat that was dropped off at his property. He figured it all out. And then he has a successful business and he rides home in his vet. How's that sound? Okay. So, yeah, so you got in the body of the car, you got like almost an ivory color building. It's really like a gray ivory, but that's the fake out. That might be the wall color, on and on and on. So you got to get all those things right. You can even, if you want to, you could bring in other mediums like color pencil, not on Claybord though, not. But you could, take a pencil line and draw that with a ruler and show this darker, thin line right there. There's so many things that could be done. Let me see how we go with this mirror for a minute. Try to get a little more red on this painting. Again, and then I'll protect the area this time. Take your pencil. I'm going to get one of the HBs with a little less of a point. It's a little darker so we can all see as I draw on the mirror. The other finger is to steady my hand. And yeah, I deal with a tremory hand and I have no clue why. Even as a sign painter, I did. I know at one point doctors were that, well, it's low blood sugar, your sugar's dropping. It's like, yeah, well, what is it right now? Because I had dinner. Get that really nice like that. And then the little mirror comes down. You can use a tool too. You can use like a little ruler, the little triangle guys and all that kind of stuff. Probably could take, just try this to see. You take a super sticky note and put it on, where's the mirrors thing? Somewhere around here, like right in this area. For a straight line, you could probably do something like that. And then just go against the paper. Doesn't move on you, that's for sure. And then here. Now I can see the mirror. The mirror is a little rounder down here. It's a little rounded off, like nice shapes. Highlights in there. So I'm going to change the blade again. I already told you change the blade a lot. So, Patty C. How are you, Mrs. Chadwick? Yes. Yeah, if I haven't been reading the comments, sorry. Yeah. Do you want to know how I'm feeling, Patty? Oh, Steve. Okay. Steve, were you not feeling good? I don't know what's going on. I haven't gotten to get on your page a couple times now because of my scene here. A lot of personal stuff going on. Just very taken away from reality. Sometimes waves in life come like at the ocean, one after another after another. Well, that's our life. They never stop coming. But sometimes the waves are bigger. It's been a wavy month. Okay. If you tilt it and you have that color correct lighting, you can find your cut marks. Sorry. You can find your cut marks. I might be blocking things, but I have to cut this. I do most of the cutting when I'm sitting up in the bed with the pillows behind me. And then I have my color correct lighting, my OT light over my shoulder. And it really works out good because I'm comfortable with, this is breaking apart a little bit. Let's see. Did I cut it all the way? I don't think I did. Nope. But I can relax and really cut some really nice line work. When I'm comfortable or when I'm feeling really good, I can just show you some of my, oh man. Let me just get, okay. I'll take this guy here because it's Christmas. So I just do these for fun. These are just draw and ink. Okay, so the image was actually traced because I go to the doctors a lot with my wife and stuff. And yeah, so you can see my line work when I'm relaxed. It's perfect. This is all freehand. So even though you see that I have the tremors a little bit, when I'm in the right position and I'm working and I'm just trying to kill time at the doctor's, I enjoy, inking with the micron pens and the what have yous. And the challenge is like when you're doing Charlie Brown's head and he's round and you got to make it look like it traced it, the circle, So let's just spray a little on here. Oh, I'm going to open I'll stare at that mirror. Okay, so the mirror kind of goes back this way a little bit. I know the owner of this car, if I get anything wrong, they would say the mirror's not right. You didn't know what it really looked like because it was small and it's got different shapes on it. That's the truth, too. If you're painting some commission work, I shouldn't have pulled that, but I did. Okay. I keep hitting the arm. The arm's on a swing out, flexible arm. So again, there's blue in the mirror. There's blue right there. But it's got to be knocked back. You got to almost take the line out completely. Just leave a ghost. So you just know where to spray a little bit. Because it travels, let's see. See, that shape's not right there. So I've got to do a little bit of, I got to cut that shape off a little. Right here. It's rounder. That worked. Spray mostly on the stencil if you're trying to get a dark line. And then you can back off the stencil and fade. Real dark down here. It's the other color even. Because it's the red's picking up the ground color. Sorry if you can't see it, but I got to get in there close. highlights can be reestablished too with the erasing. So I don't know if I got this right. I'm going to be careful with the right side of the mirror. I'm going to just spray that side of the mirror. I think that has a little bit of a, could be the highlight, but I'll just do that for a little dust over it, something like that. And I wasn't thinking about that. Nobody told me. See, if you guys could talk, you'd be like, Bill, you said you were going to watch your overspray. But you can only type, and if I don't look, it's like when Dan was saying, Bill, we can't see it. Because I had the picture over here, and I'm working on this part, but it's out of the frame. I'm having fun, I'm going to town. Whoop, a little crack in the old. Oh, that's all right. Nothing that a paintbrush can't handle. Little white area there. Looks like shine. Actually is a shiny area. So let's take the Tombow and reestablish what I kind of oversprayed. See if we could do it. It's a soft eraser. I'm just going to stay on that spot and take advantage of Createx's cross-linking. And it goes this way. It reappears this way. You can almost take it out like that and use the aggressive eraser right here. Whoops, it's dirty. Dirty eraser will not do anything. It'll just won't do anything but put dirt on your picture. So I'll just push that out like that. Just like that. You could sharpen that to a real nice point, and you could get in here more. I can get wide, and it's not as wide, but then I hit the other spot. Gotta be careful. Okay, so this is gonna fade up into here, so I'm gonna take that out a little bit. The blue is gonna be on that mirror. Sorry. Just kind of sculpt it, leave some areas to tweak it later. Like, for example, the bottom of the mirror is darker, obviously. Whoops, spidering. Didn't want that to happen. Okay, erase it again. And then the reflections are crazy. They're like, let's see if I can get one. That's one little guy, and it meets up with this one over here, crosses over onto the door. It's very bumpy and wavy, and you can't see it anywhere. What am I doing? It's too hard with the little stuff. It's like you guys can't see it. So let me try to come in from the side. Nope, nothing coming out. Don't spray, right? Oh, I did it there. I sprayed the droplets onto the painting. I don't know, there's all kinds of body reflections in the car that are just bouncing all the way over to here. I'll tweak them and get them to be more accurate. Okay. That's not exactly the color that's going to go there, but I could put it in lightly just to help us see a little bit more. I can always erase it out. It's so light, it's not even there, Tip dry. Okay. I think my pinhole from the X-Acto knife is done. So I think I can get that awkward thing off my finger. Turn the air down. Can you guys see the air blow by? No, it's invisible, huh? All right, where was I? I know I got to get them off. Get those off. Okay. Where am I? What was I working on? Not enough. Not enough. Either maybe I need no, I don't need more water in it, that's for sure. Can you see it? Let's zoom in. I should do what Steve Leahy does all the time. Zoom. Not letting you guys see enough. I'm learning, guys, I'm learning. This goes here, and it meets up with that, but it starts to come down here. Whoop. Yeah, that's too much air, but that's exactly where it goes. That's kind of cool. It just landed there. It does that little tornado thing. And then this is going to be the red over here. That's going to be the red. So I can't go there. All right. So now I want to go after a couple of these little dew flickers. I can try this. Like that. I'm using the blade flat, but don't let this part, whoops, don't let the back part hit. And you can't see because it's out of focus. There we go. Bring my other hand in there. We got more of an angle like that. Most of them are gone. Some of them are just sitting there, just speckles. All right. There's going to be a nice gray tone in here. I don't think, yeah, I probably can if I just go easy. Just to indicate it a little bit. It's just there, kind of. It's actually closer, a little closer, so I could spray it out more. It's not over that way as much, but I'll just do that. And then you're going to see a little tire tread. Not much. It's out of focus, so you could just kind of put a couple in and then spray over them again. I'll just put in all of them and then I'll spray over them so that has some kind of rhyme or reason. All right. Black, we'll go back over that. There's blue on the tire there. There's like a blue area. Maybe a blue-brown, I don't know. Let's just get the highlight on there a little bit. Speaking of erasing, right? They start popping things out. I have my, I'll just bring it over for a minute. I have a video, it's called a short, pulled it out of the thing, but the whole painting was out of focus. So the tornado painting right here, let's move this, was not finished. So let's back out. Okay. A little bit more. Right around there. Okay, so the tornado painting wasn't finished, but I was starting to demonstrate making some, like if you look at the photograph, which is, where's the photograph? I think it's over here. Here it is. Well, that's part of it, but that's the bottom part. All right. All right, I'll just kind of wing it a little bit. No, you gotta have the photograph. I can't do that winging it. Let me just look for it. Give me 1 second. Okay, I got part of the photograph. I got this part. So, if you're going to start putting some visual, you got your paint there, and then you got to remove paint. So you start looking for some stuff to, that's got paint on it, right? Yeah, it's got paint. Oh, it's coming off. Okay, so right here, I can bring this thinner line, just erase right through the paint. This is illustration board. And right now, it's going to be resprayed later. And then it bows down this way a little. And then it starts traveling up here like that. And the more marks you make in the painting, the more the field will become believable. I got to ask Drew Blair to make grass stencils. That would be really good. He wants suggestions, by the way, if you ever want to leave a little note or an email like, hey, I could sure use evergreen trees. Can you make some evergreen trees? You know, that kind of a thing. Stencils, and maybe he will. I don't know. But it does say somewhere on there, if you got any suggestions. You know, so you could just make the shape smaller as you go back. And then we've got this really, this is just white overspray. I shouldn't have sprayed that there. But color can go on it. And then all these little flower areas, you can just kind of come in here and you could just make little tiny marks that are broken up even like that. And then the field will look more and more like the image. And you can break things up. You can soften things in a broader area. So like if I look at this whole area here, it's a little too dark. Just take out paint in a broad stroke, like right here. Just erase and erase and erase. Now I'm down to the first color and erase more. And you get a bigger area that you covered. Look at that, it's breaking. That happens all the time. But anyway, you get the idea. So, yeah, I think this one out here might have a cut through right about here. That will look kind of cool. You just bust through, right? And I'm not trying to make it exactly where it is. I'm just trying to make some visual, it's like an abstract painting. And then the field starts to look more real. Then you take some paint and you paint it all over lightly, like, you know, even if it's opaque, you spray lighter, and then you go in and you can start doing your little close-up grass that might be, I'm not going to say etched in because then you're removing paint, you know, that kind of a thing. But if you do it light enough, you might be able to get a little bit of making the eye think there's some grass there, like that, and then spray over it. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that because it didn't come out very good on the short. It was out of focus. So, all right. So I'm going to stop at this point. We're at 10 minutes of. So I will back this out. All right, you guys. So this is what we're working on. And where's my big boy? My big picture. Like I say, I go over and when I get to the wheels, I might want to have a blown up version of the wheel for detail. Because this picture's small. Yeah, you bring it in here, you can see the same thing almost, but look at that. So I have it in real time. And then I even blew it up bigger, cropped it and sent it over to understand what's going on with the letters, what color are the letters. Look at the blue in the actual tire and those little tiny guys there. And then, of course, the treads. You can put those shapes, and if you just take your time, if you do 2 of them And then you do a few more and you'll be like, wow, this is very small. So I don't know how successful I'll be with that. But if I was doing this a large guy, and then of course the chrome, remember, this is circular. I'm hitting this a lot tonight. This is circular, so that's the sky, because this is reflecting the sky, and this is the ground. So if you turn it around, you can actually see the parking lot right there. Right there is all the texture of the parking lot, and that's the sky. But because it's catching it in a disc, like a dish, that's what's happening. And look at the whoops, look at inside there. That's the rest of the parking lot. And then you got the blue sky catching there a little bit and catching there. It's really cool. Just paint what you see, right? Get the right colors in. There's those telephone poles I was talking about, whatever they are, that are in the car, that are actually in the image. Where did that go? There it is. They look like stencil shapes, right? Look at that. The little things coming up above, like right there, right here. If you look along the top, you can see the highlight. It looks like a sunset, right? You got the light glow, and then it fades up into the, so I need the right color in here. My car color seems to be matching there, but something's off, and I don't know what it is. You can see it matching there pretty much, but I might have got a little dark. But this one is an experiment for me, and I usually nail the color by mixing it. I thought I got it pretty close, but because you you have to spray transparents carefully, when you're spraying, you have to, you don't have 100%, so you got to just build it up slowly, and you get darker. Too much air. Okay, guys. There's a nice fade, but see, there's a good one right there. So you go under it, and then under it. But the values are all changing because you're not going to stay on the trigger the same. That looks pretty good, but you can get away from it very easily, like I think I did, and you can end up having a much darker color. And I have to try to see if I can fix this, or I can just have a burgundy Corvette. I don't know. Doing the best I can with what I got, right? So I hope you enjoyed watching some of this, and I will see you guys most likely next Tuesday. Like I said, I try to do 4. If I can't do 4 in a month, I'll try to do 3, or it might be every other week. But just know that I'm trying not to disappear on you. I am 100 years old, so, if you don't see me, not really. I am in my 70s, though. So keep that in mind, guys. I'm not saying I'm going to croak. I'm just saying it's hard. Everything hurts. My neck, my back. I'm just trying to get by. And I'm not a working artist. I'm a working caregiver. I care for my wife. And that's how I am now employed for now, right? But the thing is, it's all what I've been doing all along anyway, just taking care of my girl. So to do this for a commission or something, that's why you don't see me selling my work at this time. There's too many obstacles in my way. There's too many other things that are personal that I'm not going to even get into, but I just paint this, guys, for you, and then I end up with a million paintings because I don't sell them. I should give them away. I have given away some paintings because, let me get this phone out of this holder. A piece of tape is holding it in. Take that out. Boink. There we go. So, yeah, I mean, I've showed you this before. The walls are just paintings that I never had any paintings. They always all my paintings always went. You know, they always were gone, sold. They were commissioned. Look at this. This fell. Okay, and this fell. There's some paintings. Okay, what is this one? This one is a sunset. There's my feet, my brand new socks. Huh? How about that? And then you got that. That's Claybord. Nope, that's Blair synthetic paper. And this is a Christmas ornament that I never quite finished. You can see the reflection in the ornament, the inside of a room. Anyway, so yeah, I got a lot of paintings here, as you can see. And ones that fell here and all these dudes. And there's Drew Blair's poster of his jets. Check out the heat distortion. As you get closer, you get heat distortion on the, or fog, and so that's Drew's work. And then more inking. So anyway, this is my mess. This is my studio. So I will sign out now. Let me just come over here and show you the very, there's that hot light. Got to get a hot light, guys. Daylight. That one's a daylight. Let's see if we can distort the Corvette. Stretch it. Anyway, so there's what I was working on. Thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys all next week. I'm using the Airbrush Micron, the custom Micron. I'm sorry, I wasn't reading things. Thank you for loving the demo. I appreciate it. Yes, you too, Patty. Have a great night. God bless you guys. Be safe. Have fun. Paint. And enjoy your family, right? And all of life's grand adventures. Good night. Take care.